One knew it could never happen in America. Until the day it did. Foreign terrorists strike ruthlessly at our homes and businesses in the new action epic, Invasion U.S.A. Our making-of cameras travel to Miami, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, and the Everglades to capture the behind-the-scenes magic of this box-office smash. Chuck Norris returns once again as America's premier fighting hero in this story of danger and intrigue.
Did you lose this?
Directed by Joe Zito, Invasion U.S.A. also stars Richard Lynch as the terrorist leader and newcomer Melissa Prophet. The screenplay was written by James Bruner and Chuck Norris and is based on a story by Norris's brother, Aaron.
Stories about an international terrorist who is backed by someone, we don't really know who. And he mobilizes all the terrorists in America, and they go out to every major city in America, hundreds of them, and they start blowing up neighborhood homes, shopping malls, buses, restaurants, businesses.
The director of the film, Joe Zito, is noted for directing such hits as Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, and another Chuck Norris film, the highly successful Missing in Action. For the film's opening, Zito wanted to express a serene and peaceful atmosphere for the home of the Chuck Norris character, Matt Hunter.
I wanted to have Matt be a man who was in search of peace, but always drawn into battle. And the Everglades were peaceful, serene, a place that you'd go if you were trying to get away from confrontation.
In a film already packed with dangerous stunts and effects, the crew shot for 2 weeks in the wild Florida Everglades, battling more than just mosquitoes. They also encountered extreme temperatures in this prehistoric land that was teeming with snakes and alligators.
Took a lot of serum with us. Yeah. I think the heat was the biggest factor. Working in the heat with the bugs on long days like that can be real physically wearing.
Richard Lynch plays the part of Rostov, the Russian leader who masterminds the invasion. Lynch is known throughout Hollywood as one of the screen's most ruthless villains. However, what most people don't know is that the evil roles are difficult for the mild-mannered actor to play.
I have found playing the antagonist very difficult for me at times. It seems the industry does offer that part to me, and I then approach it as a professional and do the best job that I have in me. But there are other songs in my breast.
His all-too-real character of Rostov leads the invaders through the swampland on airboats, which are photographed from above by helicopter. The choppers created a swift downdraft that made maneuvering the airboats even more difficult for the professional drivers. Water moccasins, alligators, and a deadly strain of gangrene were not the only concern of stunt coordinator Aaron Norris. Norris has rigged simulators consisting of quarter sticks of dynamite as a preparation against the many hazards encountered in the swamp.
Every area that I'm going to have men getting blown off the airboats into the water, I'll be blowing that section of the water just to make sure there's no water moccasins or alligators in the area. And once they hit the water and get in, I'll have safety boats nearby ready to come get them.
In the film, one of Matt Hunter's good friends, John Eagle, is brutally killed by the terrorists. In preparation for this scene, his airboat is laced with squibs. Squibs are miniature explosive devices electronically activated to simulate bullet hits. As each circuit on the nail board is triggered, the squibs will fire. After hours of preparation and rehearsal, the scene is ready for a take. Next, the reverse angle of the terrorist firing the weapons must be shot. Director Zito positions a red target so the actors will be shooting at exactly the correct eye line. Therefore, when the film is edited, they will appear to be shooting at John Eagle. Another element to this action-packed opening is when Chuck Norris's stunt double, Dean Ferrandini, crashes through a window, to escape the terrorists' explosive attack on the swamp house.
It's where Chuck has seen the guys on the terrorists coming in with the bazookas. They've shot John Eagle, and they're going to blow the house up. Chuck runs, dives through the window to escape, lands out there, is slightly stunned. The terrorists come in looking for him. He's not here. And he escapes on the airboat.
Now for the most intricate part of the sequence, the actual exploding of the swamp house. The special effects crew works for a perfect balance of explosives in order to achieve the most realistic blast possible. The rest of the crew sets up on a floating dock across from the swamp house. A handheld camera is stationed behind actor Richard Lynch. A cannon will be fired by Lynch toward the house, and the powerful explosives will be simultaneously detonated. Now let's take a look at the combined elements of the finished, exciting Everglades scene, which includes both the stunt by Dean Ferrandini and the spectacular explosion of the swamp house. The ruthless terrorists spread mayhem across America in Invasion U.S.A. One of their most surprising attacks strikes a crowded shopping mall on Christmas Eve. An impressive number of stunt people and hometown Atlanta extras were used for the scene, which was shot over a 3-night period in a downtown Atlanta shopping center.
We're trying to tell the story of major battles on the streets of American cities. And these are not the kinds of villains that go and blow up an office building someplace. They go into a shopping mall, Christmas time, packed full of shoppers. We had 1,800 extras there each day, used maybe 10,000 extras in the sequence.
The suspense and intensity will steadily climb in this thrilling action sequence as each scene progresses in the shopping mall. In the parking lot of the mall, an airbag is set up for stuntman Al Jones to rehearse another life-risking stunt. He will be jettisoned from a hydraulic springboard into a gift shop card rack. The difficult stunt will become even more threatening as an explosion is set off at the same time. The camera will capture the action from behind a protective shield. Jones emerges unharmed, and his daring stunt will add an extra bit of realism to the exciting sequence. The shopping mall scene will include a thrilling entrance by the Matt Hunter character. Stuntman Don Pike will stand in for Norris in this hair-raising stunt in which he will crash through the front doors of the crowded shopping mall, swinging dangerously close to pre-positioned stuntmen. Finally, his harrowing feat will come to an end when he smashes into a storefront. And now it's time to see Chuck Norris in action, and has worked his way up the ladder of success to star in such noted films as Missing in Action, Code of Silence, and Lone Wolf McQuade. He's famous for performing the majority of his own stunts. However, in Invasion U.S.A., he attempts the extraordinary when he hangs onto the side of a speeding truck as it careens through mall displays and crowds of shoppers.
Shopping mall, of course, has been the hardest and most hair-raising, most dangerous thing I've done, probably the most dangerous stunt I've ever done on film.
It isn't easy for stunt coordinator Aaron Norris to direct such a dangerous trick when it's his own brother whose life is on the line.
I don't like putting my brother in that position, but he's so good and he's so game. And I see a situation that I have taken I have done my homework on, and I've taken and done every step I can do for complete safety.
And now let's take a look at the entire action-packed shopping mall sequence, including the most dangerous ride of Norris's career, as it will appear in the final film. For the ending of the chase, skilled stuntman Don Pike was called on again to perform one of the most spectacular stunts of his career. Stunt coordinator Norris designed the stunt himself.
Stunt is blowing a truck in a complete fireball and rolling it end over other cars, doing what we call a pipe ramp. But not only a pipe ramp, it came out of a fireball that was probably about 150 feet in diameter.
Pike runs the stunt over and over in his mind to make sure there are no potential mistakes.
Okay, at this point, I've gotten my 20 miles an hour up. Now I have to key myself in on the ramp. And I have to hold it on the ramp. My speed will be okay by the time I hit my position. I got to press the button as soon as I hit the ramp. There's going to be one explosion and then mine. One explosion and mine.
He's ready. The cameras roll and the stunt begins. High-speed cameras were used to shoot Pike's truck in slow motion as it was absorbed in a 150-foot fireball. Again, take a look at this incredible finished scene. Again, the terrorists ruthlessly strike where we least expect it, in our homes on a peaceful Christmas Eve. Constantly striving for realism, director Zito chose to buy out several real brick houses in a suburban neighborhood.
At least 15 of my key department heads were flown into that area. We walked from house to house. We talked about what we wanted to see. We talked about what would be possible, what it was safe to do, what couldn't be done. Of course, we had to involve local governments as well. We were in proximity to an airport. A lot of homework was done before we could do that. We talked about different types of explosives, how one material looks versus another. We did, in fact, really destroy the neighborhood.
Zito wanted forceful, big explosions as each of the neighborhood homes were destroyed. Explosives team member Bill Purcell describes how the incredible blasts were achieved.
We put candy glass in the mortars. We shot through the windows. We used primer cord to cut the roof open and push the fireballs up through it. We threw a lot of debris out through each window, and it was a major explosion. It was on the equivalence of probably close to a case of dynamite.
Director Zito details exactly how the bazooka should be held and fired when working with Richard Lynch. Lynch feels this scene has a special impact.
This is, Americana at its best, Christmas Eve, and that this threat is there really is a disturbing moment in the motion picture. And the filmmakers purposely put it in for that.
The tension builds as fire trucks stand by and the crew gets into position for the high-power explosion of the first house. The blast goes smoothly and no one is injured. 5 real houses were destroyed during the 5 nights of shooting. High-power explosions violently shook the neighborhood. Here is how the finished film version of this neighborhood invasion appears on the screen.
La ciudad. La ciudad.
"40 years have passed since the Battle of Atlanta was filmed for the classic Gone with the Wind. Now Hollywood comes to Atlanta's contemporary streets to stage the largest battle scene ever shot in a major U.S. city.
The idea from the start was to stage this major battle where we have hundreds of terrorists, thousands of National Guardsmen, Chuck Norris, the key villains, all in one major battle in a downtown American city.
Over 1,200 National Guardsmen were used in this sequence. The large amount of actual military equipment and machinery used staggers the mind.
We have 6 tanks, 6 armored personnel carriers, 10 2.5-ton trucks, and 16 1/4-ton trucks, which most people call Jeeps.
During the 6 nights that were spent shooting in the downtown area, local Atlanta people were called on to act in the film as terrorists. Weapons were carefully checked out to extras in exchange for their driver's licenses to ensure the return of these dangerous firearms. One of the most climactic scenes combines the terrorists and the National Guardsmen who battle it out as 3 explosions erupt around them. To prepare for the scene, powerful black powder bombs are laced into this tower of sandbags. Explosives expert Bill Purcell describes what is used in a battle of such magnitude.
We used alcohol, black powder bombs, and we threw a lot of debris in the other soft debris because of the personnel we've had around. Use roughly a gallon of alcohol in the mortars, all directional and controlled.
Finally, to complete the realism of this battle scene, squibs must be planted into the uniforms of both the terrorist and guardsmen. These squibs are small plastic bags filled with fake blood, which a remote battery explodes on cue.
Put the corner of the bag where the impact is supposed to be, so once the blood is blown out, gravity feed forces it out of the hole after you shoot.
A small piece of foam is placed between the actor and the squib to keep him from feeling a sting as it explodes. This time-consuming process must be repeated many times over for each piece of clothing worn by the actors. First, the explosives are checked, then the guns are refilled with blanks, and finally, the actors are rehearsed and fitted for the squibs. This dynamic scene, which features 3 continuous explosions and several hundred actors, is ready to roll. The results are spectacular. Unfortunately, not everyone is as happy about the successful scene.
Every time we build an ice set, these guys come along and blow it up. I'm sick of it. I'm doing commercials from now on.
That's our job!
One of Invasion U.S.A.'s dramatic strengths is the possibility that this terrifying and realistic invasion could actually happen.
This could happen, and that's why I really wanted to do the movie, because we've been very fortunate that we haven't had this happen to us yet.
If it does happen here in America, we can rest assured fighting hero Chuck Norris will be there.